言うことは一つだけ。絶対負けねえ。
How's it going, everybody? This is me, Nothing XS. We're here to talk about the new banner, the Fight Warriors in Blue Japanese player pickup transfer. We've already talked about the characters that are coming back in this banner, but we do have 3 new units, and we've already gotten to see the actual features of these 3 new units. This time we're getting Hiroshi Jito, overpowering Brawn in green, SSR Masao Tachibana, flying squirrel jumper in, I do believe, red, and SSR Kazuo Tachibana, flying squirrel jumper in blue. They'll be wearing the Japan national team kit, and they have powerful team and passive skills. So let's take a quick look at them over here. As we can see, Japanese defenders all stats 15, and other Japanese players all stats 10, and forward killer. He's a pretty decent unit with 19k in defense. Has an S cut, an A tackle, and an A block. Masao Tachibana, who is the red forward, has an S header, an A12, and an A shot. Japanese players all stats plus 10, and penalty area master, stats 15 when inside the penalty area. Kazuo Tachibana, all stats 10, also has penalty area master. Basically the same unit almost, except with a volley, a dribble, and a shot. And also gets penalty area master. Obviously the other units we've already covered. We just covered it in the last video. I will be linking it at the end. We have Tsubasa, Misaki, Genzo, Ishizaki, and Soda. And now this is a 6-step transfer where you have access to 10 players for 30, then 10 players for 40. Then you have a half chance of SSR on the first slot with a bonus legendary drill, a guaranteed SSR player, a bonus SSR black ball, and a carefully selected SSR player guaranteed. Now, we're going to look at the probabilities so that we can 100% make sure that the pool is not janky. But it's important that you know whether the pool is going to be janky or not, whether you think it'll be good to pool or not. So we're going to see there's only 40 SSR players available in this pool, which makes it quite interesting. So you have a 1/4% chance of pulling any of the units from this. And the units that are still left are probably only going to be good units. So we have, I think actually they might only be Japanese units. Yes, so if you pull from this banner, the only units that can come out are from Japan, and Misugi and Misaki are also present, the 0.01% ones. But everyone in this banner then is actually probably pretty decent. Maybe this guy is not too good, this guy's not great, this guy sucks, he's alright, meh, okay, and these 3 are actually kind of decent now after the buffs. Maybe Matsuyama's the worst one, but these 2 are actually very good. So frankly, this is not a bad banner to pull at, especially if only 40 players are in it. So yeah. Also, oh well, the guaranteed one doesn't have any R units, the SR slot. But even the, well, for the SRs you can get almost anyone because there's all sorts of skills loaded up in there. But I'm gonna guess that this is the same for everything. Okay, yeah, so it's not a terrible banner to pull at. So let's actually start taking a look at some of these units because I know that that's probably what you're most interested in. And so we're gonna start obviously with Jito. So when it comes to Jito, Jito is pretty interesting. Jito is actually a pass cutting Jito. He the only problem I would say with Jito is that he's in a color and he's a unit who also, there's also this green free Jito that you could have gotten from the actual 2018 event, and that Jito is really good, and it's really hard to argue that you should be running this guy instead of that guy. Now, that said, since green already has 2 other great blockers, and one of them is actually Japanese, which would be Misugi, they're somewhat comparable. They're not as good as the free Jito, but I mean, they're still pretty solid. Now, the thing is that this green Jito does kill forwards, and his pass cut is very strong, so he might take the place, for example, of like the green Akai, or because of his passive, he might be able to free up the Akai slot for somebody else. He does come with a complement of A defensive skills, and he does have 10,000 base pass cut and about 9,200 base tackle, so he's really solid on either side. And his team skill, which is plus 15% to Japanese defenders, plus 10% to Japanese players, is the first of its kind and just incredibly strong, honestly. Now, for pros, he has a great team skill, great pass cutting stats. He's defensively balanced, and he has a strong passive against forwards. And really, his cons are that the other 2018 Jito is a crazy good blocker, and he was free, and he was a huge bully. And so it's really hard to be like, oh, well, I'm going to trade my free bully Jito for this gacha green cutting Jito. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. There's people who arguably don't need the blockers anymore, and they would rather have this guy. The other thing is that his team skill is not that good against the units that often are the people who are sending the passes, which are not forwards, they're attacking midfielders. And so he might not be as strong against the units who are going to be taking the passes. For a limit break, I would just go tackle, speed, interception, technique. The reason for that is because making him faster will make him more effective at cutting and attacking the people with the ball. And also, interception technique obviously is really good at intercepting. If you have a high enough tackle anyway against the forward, you don't have to worry too much about the fact that it's a forward, that like maybe they're not going to pass. You could just probably tackle them and take the ball with an A80 tackle, which you can easily get A80 power tackle, or you could just use SR balls on his A tackle, which is just A, I'll send my rivals flying. Now, as we can see his stats, he's kind of average offensively. He does have a 6,500 tackle base, 6,000 block base, and 7,100 intercept base, and most of his physical is loaded on technique. He is a high baller. People forget that he's decent against the high ball, so he may be better as a blocker also because of the 2 new units that just came out who are very good at high and low balls. And so while they might be better at low balls, you still might want to have some aerial defense. That said, he has a 10k interceptor, and it's really hard to look the other way on that. A base 10k interceptor is pretty nice. And finally, if you're going to do his skill build, and there's a new thing we're going to do. We're going to analyze what skills I think you should take. Now, I love the names for Jito's skills. His S-cut is called "Those Little Tricks Ain't Gonna Work." And that's a very nice S-pass cut. He also has A, I'll send my rivals flying. I forgot the exclamation mark there. I'm sorry. A, high power block, A, strong pass, and C, power dribble. Now, if you want to keep his A tackle, you're going to need to use SR balls to max it. But you can replace it with A power tackle. It'll be a lot easier to max. It'll be roughly the same stamina cost, but 50 momentum weaker. But again, it's just so much easier to level up that you might think that that's a trade-off worth doing. Now, if you're missing either... the thing about this unit is that if he was missing either this cut or forward killer or his passive, he might only be an A unit. But because of this combination of things, he is an S unit, he is a defensive cutter. I don't know if I would go for broke with him. He's the most... All 3 of the units are maybes, but he's the most maybe of them all. Like, he's the most leaning towards yes. This combination of skills and everything that he has does make him very interesting, and I would really consider him if I was playing green, basically. Or if I was playing all Japan and I really wanted that team skill. Like, there's just a lot to like about this Jito in general that makes me think that you might want to go for him. Next up, we have Kazuo Tachibana, the Flying Squirrel Jumper. He is a forward only. His role is an aerial striker, and I want to say that he is the first blue Tachibana twin, but since there's no other blue Tachibana twin, it's very hard to run him in mono blue Japan, and boy does he want to be in mono blue Japan, and let's talk about why. He has a 15% in the penalty area passive skill. He gets 10% to all Japanese as a team skill. He has a dribble. His volleying is ridiculously good because he has access to S Skylab Twin Shot. He has 11k base shooting, which is really good. And he's very good at low and high balls. And he has a good access to complement of skills from other sources. Both of these Tachibana twins are crazy good. This one's just slightly worse since he doesn't have a partner in blue yet, and he would love to be in mono blue Japan. Now, let me talk about the nuke though, so people don't understand what I mean. He has 18,154 volley post limit break, and that's before you apply team skills, right? After team skills, let's say you put a random twin in the back, and I'm gonna bust out the trusty calculator, right? Let's say you actually put a random twin on there, and you were running him in 45% blue. That's a 26k volley times his actual volley. This is probably one of the 2 highest shots in the game. Like, that's monstrously absurd. He is so good at shooting. He is probably better than Fei Shang. He's better than a lot of units. His passive also makes him fucking bonkers. And I kind of try not to swear in these videos because I want kids to be able to watch them, so I'm sorry. I'm going to limit myself to 1 F-bomb per video. I'm going to just be rated PG-13. I think that's how it works. He's decent enough stats to carry him up through otherwise once he's limit broken. Now, the cons that he has is that he's barely brushing the 8K category for everything else. His dribbling, which is a skill he has, is barely 7.5K. I would limit break him the standard forward build, which is dribble 22, speed 3, pass 22, technique 3, shot 25, power 25, and that's because he has a little bit of everything, and you kind of want to make him able to get into the box by his own power if necessary. Now, his stats are he has 969 stamina. He's pretty average in dribble and pass. Like, he's a little bit better than average, which winds up with a 7.5, 7.9 dribble and pass. He is an 11K shooter, which is bonkers good. Everything else is just average, but he is a high ball and low ball 25%. What does that mean? It means that you're going to be giving him S Skylab Twin Shot. I would see about giving him the S Wild Monkey Shot. I would give him the A80 Skylab Hurricane if you have one ready for him, and you should. Tachibana Twins, obviously a good skill on him, and Flying Squirrel Jump is a dribble, which is nice. Now, his job is to get into the penalty area, and either by hook and by crook, or by crook, you use one of his big aerial nukes. Or, if necessary, you use S Wild Monkey Shot, because frankly, if you do have a dupe, he's a good candidate to try to fire from the ground from, because he doesn't have like a good S aerial shot yet, and so S Wild Monkey Shot's really not that bad on him. Frankly, if you can't find the dump Wild Monkey Shot, he does come with a twin shot, so you should leave that and max it out. But Wild Monkey Shot does make him less dependent on his twin, and there's no other blue twin to use with him, so you might want to consider that. And now for his twin, who's very similar to him. He's an excellent forward in red, has access to a twin in red, is a pretty solid forward, and very easy to run in Mono Red Japan. And honestly, Mono Red Japan didn't need the help, but they got it anyway. He's an elite shooter in the box with a passive to bolster it. He has a Japan-friendly team skill. He has a decent S-header, access to the best S-volley in the game from a free farmable unit that you could get back in the day in one of the events, and if you don't have him anymore, then, I mean, that still exists. He's simply one of the best pure red aerial strikers in the game. He has an even stronger low ball than his twin. He's actually 18-303 volley post limit break, and we're going to take a look at what that means so that you can see the difference. Obviously, if you put him in the box and you give him a 45% red Japan, he's a 26-539, and with his nuke, he's 130. That's even better than his twin. And frankly, that's Gonzo good. He has decent enough stats elsewhere to carry him. And listen, everything about him is basically like his twin, but in red, which makes him just better. That's just how it is. He's barely brushing the AK category for everything. His dribbling, which is a skill he has at least, is barely 7.5K. He does have access to a dribble, 7.5K. Actually, it's a little bit better than that. I copy-pasted, and I didn't actually edit. I'm an idiot. Is there an echo here? Well, yeah, because I didn't edit. Duh. Limit break, same limit break though, because he does have access to the A12, and he does have a B dribble, which is farmable. It's a skill dribble, so it's still decent. Now, looking at his stats, he's very, very similar. Again, 7.7 dribble, 7.5 pass. He is an 11.2K shooter, which is very, very good. Everything else about him is pretty average. He's not going to be a defensive forward, like a forward with defensive access skills. So don't think of him as one. Just use him for his main intended job, which is to score. Now, for his skill build, though, he does have better nukes. He has Flying Squirrel Jumping Header, which is a great air nuke, and then Skylab Twin Shot from another version of Masao, which is the best volley nuke in the game right now. A Wild Monkey Shot he comes with. You can give him a Twin Shot if you want. That might be easier to max, and rough. They're the exact same shot in terms of strength, but with a Wild Monkey Shot, you remove his reliance on the twin just in case. B skill dribble, very easy to get, and A Tachibana Twins. Again, his job is also to get into the penalty area by hook or by crook. Unlike Kazuo, as a better ground nuke, though, this unit has access to 2 amazing air skills. While Monkey Shot is just an A skill, it's just as strong as his Twin Shot. It's up to you which you want to give him and level up. I like the flexibility of not needing to play a twin while still having some kind of utility. Flying Squirrel Jumping Header, by the way, also doesn't need a twin. So you would have access to 1, 2, 3 skills if you were to swap out, for example, another forward for, like, I don't know, Hyuga in the second half or something weird like that. Now, the cool thing about both of these twins is that they're both basically the same. They're both forwards and they're both strikers. I rate them both S, and they're both also maybe go for brokes. I would say Masao is a little bit more of a go for broke than Kazuo, as Kazuo is in blue. Now, that might mean that Kazuo is actually the one that you need to go for broke for, because you don't know when another blue Tachibana is going to come. and you want to be ready for him. And frankly, all of them are kind of like maybe go for brokes, right? They're all just very solid units. This is actually one of the best pure gacha pools in the game so far. Jito is slightly the worst of them, but also the one that you may want to go for broke the most, simply because his team skill is so crazy. Both Kazuo and Masao just get +10 to All Japan, but they're just two of the best shooters in the game right now that come out of the gacha by themselves. They're just so strong. There's no... I have no idea what to recommend here. I think this banner is very good. It has access to a bunch of the units that you might just really want to go back and get. It's really hard to say whether you should or shouldn't, and so we're gonna do a quick 30 kick. I'm not gonna do the full rest of the pool, but I have a little bit of dream balls here. We're just gonna go for it. I just have free dream balls right now. We're gonna go because I want to see maybe I get someone, but I have no illusions that I'm gonna get someone. I will do the rest of the step up probably on Friday as an actual banner gacha video, but for here we're just gonna go for it. This is for no chance shoot. Okay. Oh, that's an SSR. Sweet. All right, let's see what we got, guys. This is an SSR. Oh, okay. Nice. All right. Nice. That's one. Two. Another one. Yeah, baby. All right, come on. What are we getting? It's gonna be all trash, but listen, I'm down with 2 free SSRs that I didn't even think I was gonna get. Nice. Sweet. Oh, garbage. This is not the right Jito. Alright, cool. So I got 2 new SSRs from that. That's pretty good. Alright, guys. I will see you later for the next video, which we're going to make, which is going to cover the people from Hidden Ability Evolution. See you all later. Can't believe I got this character.